Perfect. Okay. So let's start standing at the top of our mats. Have length from the crown of the head all the way down to the heels. Let's rotate the shoulders down and back and look straight ahead and have a lovely long neck, melting the shoulders away, and just let those arms hang naturally. Give those toes a little wiggle and then place the toes down one at a time and have length in the spine. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your heart space, your palms are together. Inhale up to the sky, high prayer. Big, big stretch. Have a little hyperextension of the back. Beautiful. And as you exhale, open the heart and release those arms down by your side and take a lovely rotation of those shoulders. Let's do that again. Interlacing the fingers high into the air, and then open up and rotate those shoulders round. Do a lovely rotation of the shoulders all the way round. Shoulder comes up to ears, and then just rotate and circle back. Make those circles a little bit bigger as you open up and have that wonderful release. Breathing in, breathing out. Fantastic. Come into a little twist, a little rotation from side to side. And then just do a little pedal of the feet, a heel of the toe, lengthening through, coming up onto the tiptoes and then melting the heels down. Bring your hands to your heart space. Inhale up, exhale, bend at the hips and the knees and melt forward, dangling the head, and just have that lovely release in the neck and the shoulders, softness in your breath, a little bounce, and then come up with beautiful, strong sunshine arms, and then bring your hands to your heart space. So let's inhale up to the sky, exhale, melt to the earth, and just do that little bounce, and then come up with beautiful, strong arms, and bring your hands to your heart space. Fantastic. Inhale, big lift. Exhale, melt. Halfway lift, stretch out those thighs. And then exhale, melt to the earth. Dangle the head, sway the arms, relax the mind and the body. Beautiful. And then bring your palms down and step back into a plank position. Melting into baby cobra, elbows close to the ribs, and then float into that up dog, lengthen the neck and the shoulders. Take your gaze over your shoulders and release any tension. Breathe in, breathe out. Tuck your toes, come into a downward facing dog, scoop up your hips, melt your heels, and just do a little pedal of the feet. Heel toe action, really stretching out the thighs as you melt those heels down, dangling the head between the arms and have that beautiful stretch into the back of the thighs. And then take a big step to the top of the mat and come up with beautiful, strong sunshine arms and bring your hands to your heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, positivity. Exhale, negativity. Halfway lift and then melt. Sway, release, dangle. Get that lovely little release into the lower back as you just bounce just that little bit. And then palms down. Step back into a plank. Melt into baby cobra. Uncurl the toes and then lift into that up dog. Lengthen the neck and the shoulders, softness in your breath. Tuck in your toes, push into downward facing dog, scoop up your hips, melt your heels, dangle your head. So really ease those heels down, check your alignment. Are your toes pointing forwards? Are your hips high? Are your palms wide? Are your feet roughly 2 fist distances apart? Could we reach back and could we touch our toes? Are we in great alignment for downward facing dog? Come up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees and float one leg into the air, three-legged dog. So get that wonderful stretch as you reach to the sky with those toes. Beautiful. Then bring that foot between the hands and melt the back heel down into warrior one. The front knee is at 90 degrees. The back leg is nice and straight and you reach up those arms. Beautiful length. Release the shoulders away from the ears and have that lovely length from the fingertips down to the heels. So have that wonderful stretch. Open up the heart. Cactus arms. Waterfall arms from the top of the head down to the heels. Nice and strong. So rotate and draw those shoulders down and back. Fantastic. Come up onto that tiptoe. Bend that back knee and place the fingertips to the floor. And then float up the other hand up into the air. Up and down as if you were waving like the waves of the sea. Get that wonderful release. Beautiful. Then bring the hands either side of the feet. Come back into a plank, melt into baby cobra, uncurl the toes, and lift into up dog, lengthen the neck and the shoulders. Let your gaze over the shoulders to just release the neck and release. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, scoop up the hips, melt the heels, dangle the head. Let's take the dog for a walk, let's pedal those feet. Lovely heel toe action, are the palms wide? Is the head hanging? Is the neck long? Get that lovely release. Perfect. Come up onto those tiptoes, bend at the knees and drive the chest to the sides. Lift the other leg high into the air, three-legged dogs. If you were reaching up to the sky, beautiful. Step that leg between the hands, melt the back heel down, warrior one, and float up. Beautiful. Big stretch all the way from the fingertips in the air down to that back heel. Straighten that back leg and really push that heel into the earth. Open the heart, shine. Relax the arms down by your sides, release. It's a lovely stretch from the top of the head down to the heels. Melt the chest, bring the hand down, turn the back heel, and then lift and lower the bare hand up into the air, floating, releasing, and letting go. Wonderful. Hands to the floor, into a plank, melt into baby cobra, uncurl the toes. Lift into up dog, and then sink back into extended child's pose. Melting the bottom to the heels, the head to the earth, and feel that wonderful stretch. So the third eye sinks into the mat. The fingertips reach to the top of the mat. You feel that stretch into the upper back as you melt your bottom into your heels. Breathe and just let go. Softness in your breath. Now bring your fingertips just around to your toes and let your shoulders hang in space. Let the body sink and melt down. Just release, let go. Have that softness in your breath. That stillness. Just release. Take a few moments. Prepare yourself for the day ahead and just let go. And then slowly extend the hands to the top of the mat and come into all fours. Let's dip the spine, look up at the sky. Round through the back and arch the spine. Dip the spine and look up at the sky. Arch the spine, release the back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really feel the release into the lower back as you inhale. The release into the neck and shoulders as you exhale. Now work your body in a way that feels good to you. You may need to spend extra time just pushing the earth away and dangling the neck, or easing down with the lower lumbar spine, or sinking into an extended child's pose, or floating into an up dog, stretching out those hips. Whatever works for you, spend that few moments. And then come back into that child's pose and bring your hands around to your heels and the forehead to the earth and let the shoulders just hang in space. Sink your bottom into your heels and just take a moment. Breathe and release. And then extend those hands to the top of the mat. Come into all fours. Let's extend one leg back and point the toe, and then float up, squaring the hips, pointing and flexing the foot. Point and flex. Nice strong alignment. And then give that heel a little wiggle. Wonderful. Can we lift up the opposite arm and extend out? It's a lovely stretch. It's a lovely lengthening from the toes to the top of the fingers, and it's a strengthen and push up through that supporting hand. Eyes look into the floor. Lovely length from the fingertips down to the toes. Let's swap sides. So push back the other heel, pointing and flexing, squaring the hips to the earth. Then lift up the opposite arm and lengthen through, pointing the fingers, pointing the toes. that wonderful length. And then come back to the center. Again, floating up, pointing, reaching, stretching. And then come back to the center. And again, other side, point, stretch, and lengthen, and come back to the center. Arch through the back, dip the spine. Arch through the back, and dip the spine. Wonderful. So it's a lovely release of the back. Fantastic. Now float one leg back, pointing the toes, flexing the heels. And this time, if you can, float up the same hand and then turn into a lovely half moon, squaring the hips. Nice and strong. It's a great strengthener. And then release, coming into child's pose, melting the head to the earth, the hands to the floor, the shoulders hang in space. Just let go, softness in your breath. Take a few moments. Take your hands around to your neck and just massage around the neck, the shoulders, and just let go. Release, massage and release. And then extend the hand, top of the mat, big stretch. Come back into all fours. Let's do the other side. So we stretch back with the other leg and we point the toe. If our bodies allow, we can lift the arm. If not, keep the arms down where they are. You can go into that half moon on the other side, or you can place the toe down and then float up. So almost like a side plank. So that's the option. Any issues with knees, this may be a better option. Hips. Big stretch. And then bring the hands to the floor, knees to the floor, tuck the toes, come into a downward facing dog, scoop up the hips, melt the heels, dangle the head, feel that wonderful stretch. Step into the top of the mat and come up into an extended mountain pose. Bring your hands to your heart space. Lovely. Let's pop that together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, melt. Halfway lift and melt. Keep one foot forward, step back into warrior one. Float up those arms, beautiful, lovely length from the top of the fingers down to the heels. Softness in your breath. Let's come up onto the back toe and then into a lovely crescent lunge. Open the heart. Feel that wonderful stretch. Fantastic. Turning the body, let's do a warrior two. Just releasing the shoulders down and away. Breathe, lengthen, and hold it here. Down your back leg, lift your top arm, a lovely stretch out there, and then reach back into a reverse triangle. Take your gaze to the heels, the palms should be facing the earth, both legs should be straight. Now bend that front knee, bring the elbow towards the knee, and then float the top arm up and over, and then reach out as if you were holding something with both hands, lovely, and rotate so you're facing the sky. Beautiful. And then come back into warrior two, releasing the shoulders, placing the palms to the earth, dropping the knee, uncurling the toe, and then drop both knees, slide back one leg, flexing the foot, either toe down or come into that kneeling half moon. Reach up, nice and strong, squaring the hips. Looking good. It's a great strengthener from the fingertips to the wrists. Straight line, the toe can be up, down, whatever works for you. Come back into all fours, round through your back. Dip your spine, and then come into puppy dog, keeping the bottom high. Then back into all fours, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Scoop up your hips, melt your heels, and do a little walk or a pedal of the feet. Waking up those legs, feel that release. And then step to the top of the mat and come up, extended mountain pose, hands to the heart, other side. Let's inhale up to the sky, Exhale to the earth. Halfway lift. There's a wonderful stretch out to the back, the thighs, the neck. Wonderful. And then melt down. Place one foot to the front, step back with the other foot, warrior one. Get your alignment first, lining up the knees and the hips, and then come up into that beautiful warrior one. Releasing the shoulders. Excellent. Melting that back heel. The leg at the back is straight and strong. Looking good, everyone. Come up onto that back toe. Just turn the hips slightly. Then come into that crescent lunge. Open the heart. Melt that back heel and come into warrior two. Turning the hips, squaring them, and releasing the shoulders. Front knee 90 degrees. Watch the alignment of that front knee. Melt down the back leg. Humble warrior. Take your gaze to the heel at the back or the hand in the air with the palm facing the earth. Stretch into a reverse triangle. And then bring that elbow towards the knee. Float the arms up and reach, stretch and lengthen. Turning the body, coming down onto the floor, palms down, dropping the knee, taking both legs back, and then on the other side, I'll do the same side, flexing the heel, and then lifting up, or having the toe to the floor, whatever works for you. Lovely half moon, goes nice and strong. And then place both hands to the floor, melt down into an extended child's pose. And then into child's pose, hands by your toes, shoulders hang in space. And just let go. Extend those hands to the top of the mat, extended child's pose. And then let's bring our tummies down into the earth. Our hands, make them a pillow for our head and relax the shoulders down and away. So we place palm upon palm, and then the third eye just melts onto the back of the hand. The shoulders relax in space, and we just sink into the earth. Lovely. Now with pointed toes, start to lift up one leg, pointing the toe, floating the hips slightly off the mat as you point the toe back and stretch. If you're trying to reach to shut a door with that toe, floating up from the hip, pointing the toe, squeezing the glutes, and then swap sides. So point the other toe, float up from the thigh, and reach and stretch, relaxing the shoulders, and come back down again on the other side, pointing, flexing, reaching, and then come back. And again, pointing, flexing, reaching, and come back down. Alternating the legs, pointing, flexing, and reaching, and come back down. And again, relax those shoulders. Can we lift both together from the thighs, pointing, reaching, and then release. Up again from the thighs, squeezing the glutes, relaxing the shoulders, and release. And again, lift from the thighs, pointing those toes, and release. Good. Squeeze those glutes, and then release. Now with the toes to the floor, take the hands back, and stretch back, lifting the shoulders, and take your gaze just to the top of the mat, your head, your neck, your shoulders all in perfect alignment as you reach back. Now melt an ear to the earth and relax into the mat. Lift up, float back, and then ear to the earth and relax. Eyes look into the floor, float back, and then ear to the earth. It's a wonderful back strength. Now, any pain in your back, just adjust so you feel good, and then release. One more time. And let's bring the arms and the legs up together. So let's inhale, float the shoulders, float up from the thighs, and stretch. So you're balancing on the ribs and the hip bones as you reach and stretch back, squeezing the glutes. And then release ear to the mat. Shoulders melt. And again. And then release. Let go. You have the option to do the same, or to bend at the knees and reach back for the heels. Float back, bend the knees, reach back for the heels. If you can hold the toes, pull away with the toes, drawing the heels away from your bottom and pulling the hands back. So you're getting a lovely stretch. Eyes looking to the top of the mat, shoulders back and away. And then release. Ear to the mat. One more time, the option of your choice, either floating back, looking to the earth, bending at the knees, holding the ankles, the toes. You can use a strap for this one. So, pull. Drawing the shoulders back, feel that lovely length, and then release. Ooh, yes. Those fingertips to the breastbones, push up into all fours, round through your back. Then bring those legs out in front into Dandasana. Let's counter pose. Pointing and flexing. Back nice and straight. Let's do a little pedal of those feet. And release, a little letting go. Inhale up, big stretch. Maybe lift up from the knees if you need to, melt down. Lift and melt. And as you lift from the knees, you note your back straightens and lengthens that little bit more. And then melt your chest to your sides, reaching for your toes, feeling that wonderful stretch as you melt your head between your arms. And just let go, soft within your breath. It's a wonderful stretch out to the back. It's a counter pose to the back bend. Breathe, stretch, lengthen. Slide along your shins and let go. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, maybe floating the knees slightly. Exhale, melt towards the toes. Letting the head melt down, letting the body sink. Feel that lovely stretch and that forward fold. Breathe in and melt the chest just that little bit more to the earth. Feeling that lovely release as you relax the mind and the body. And then slide up along the shins. Give those legs a little, arms and legs a little release. Let's lie down. Hug the knees, massage the back. Do a lovely little rock from side to side. Melting the shoulders into the earth, rocking from buttock cheek to buttock cheek, and hugging the knees, draw into a little ball, curl, and then release. Curl, and then release. Curl, and release. Float those toes to the sky, float those arms, and give the legs and the arms a little dangle, a little release, a little shake. And then just hang out. Yeah, melt into the earth. After all, it's weekend. Ooh, just let go. Feel that wonderful release as you sink and melt into the earth. And slowly place one foot flat and slide your hand up one leg and stretch. Big stretch, reach up to the toes and give that leg a lovely big stretch. Feeling that lovely stretch, pulling the toe towards you, the heel away. Some of you won't be able to reach your toes, so hold anywhere on your leg and straighten the leg as much as you can. And then swap sides. Lovely big stretch. Flexing and pointing the toes. And then release. Hug those knees, massage the back. Now can we take both toes and float up, flexing the feet. So this is like a forward fold, just in reverse. Now pull the toes overhead if you can, and stretch. And then release. Dangle the toes, dangle the arms, give those arms and legs a little shake. Bending at the knees, placing the feet flat, bring the arms out into a T-shape, palms either up or down, whatever works for your shoulders. And then just drop the knees one way, and look away from the bent knees. Get that lovely stretch into the lower back, if your body allows. Twisting poses are really good detoxification poses. Now take the hand that's closest to the top knee and just draw the knee across the body, keeping the shoulder in contact with the floor and reach to the toes, and then straighten that top leg if you can. So you get that wonderful stretch. So the shoulders are in contact with the floor, the leg is across the body, and you feel that wonderful stretch. And bring the knee into the chest. Let's hug the knees and massage the back. Do a lovely little rock from side to side. And then place the feet flat, the knees bent. Arms back out. Drop the knees to the other side. Shoulders stay in contact with the floor. Eye gaze is away from the legs. And again, take the top hand across to the top leg and either reach out to the toes or just hold the knee into the chest. Whatever works for you. A wall in the way, you can't do it on this side. Just stretch into the pose. Feeling that lovely twist into the lower back. So either straighten the leg or just hug the knee into the chest, looking away from the legs. Feel that wonderful stretch. And then come back to the center, hugging the knees into the chest and massage and rock the back. Curling into a little ball. Beautiful. Then cross those heels, holding the opposite toes. Massage, rock, release. Excellent. Let's rock up into a seated Sukhasana. Sitting tall, letting the knees melt down, letting the shoulders melt from the ears. Just do a lovely release. The neck. Slide over to one side, easing the opposite side down. So we're pushing down on the opposite knee as we slide down, bringing the elbow to the earth. Then float the top arm up and reach. Come back to the center. Knee stays down, and then over and reach. And come back to the center. Hands to the knees, round through the back, arch the spine. And then float the crown of the head, look up at the sky. Let the shoulders melt, round through. It's a wonderful stretch out the upper back, the neck and the shoulders. And then up we go. Lovely. Come to a neutral position and let those shoulders just release. Beautiful. Let's bring the shoulders up and then whatever is bothering you, just go. Doesn't matter. One more time. And then hands to the heart. Float up. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. And again, inhale positivity. Exhale negativity. One more. Float over to one side, keeping the buttock cheeks into the earth and up to the sky. Hands through the heart. Inhale up, exhale down, over to the other side, and back. Inhale up, and just release, mobilizing the neck. Walk those fingers forwards. Belt your chest down, maybe just the fingertips touch the earth, whatever works for you. Feel that lovely release in the neck and the shoulders. Let them go. And then slide up. Bring your hands to your heart space. By your actions, let's do good deeds. Bring your hands to your lips. By your words, let's say kind things. And then bring your hands to your forehead. And by your thoughts, let's only have kind thoughts. From the love and the light that shines within me to you, until I'm able to guide you through your practice again. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.